Everybody, Rich with Prep U here, hanging out on the floor still with the dogs. Here's Shiloh. Lily's being shy. She doesn't want to be on camera, I guess. But it is Thursday, and it is time for Range Tip of the Week. And I want to go back a little bit to a couple other range tips of the weeks that we've done. And we've talked about, helping shooters, new shooters, teaching shooters and stuff like that, about different things. But I just want to revisit, hi, Shiloh. He hasn't sat on my lap in a long time. Too much school, too much working at Shoot Point Blank, which, don't tell anybody, but they're changing their name. It's not Shoot Point Blank anymore. It's Range USA, first of the year. Don't tell anybody. And don't tell anybody I told you. So, but these are some of the things that I've seen at the range when other people are teaching people to shoot. And I know a lot of you out there in the firearm community do us all a great service by bringing someone to the range who has never shot before, and that's really important to give them a chance to see what it's like. I brought several people that said, "I'd never shoot, oh my gosh, I don't like guns," and all that kind of stuff, and they're actually avid shooters now. And actually, some of them are avid hunters too, which is really good. But we always see, people bring other people. Most of it is this, guys, some girls, but mostly girls bring girls. It just seems to work out that way. And they're not always doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing as someone that's training. Now, a lot of the people that are doing the training training their friend, they don't have the ability or the knowledge to train. So these are the types of videos that I like to put out there that you in the community that knows somebody that's just learning to shoot, taking other people to shoot, could say, hey, go to this guy's YouTube channel and check it out. And, maybe you'll learn something, and you'll learn that when you have a beagle on your chest, you get lots of dog hair, especially this time of year. But anyhow, so let's go over some of the things. The number one thing when you're taking somebody to the range, and I always suggest this first, show them stance, hold, parts of the firearm, even before you get to the range. Do it at home, because you're always a step ahead. They're more familiar with the hold of the handgun or rifle, mostly handgun, so they get used to it long before they get to the range. All right. Now, obviously, they're not going to get, at home, they're not going to hear, the loud noises or the feel of the firearm. Speaking of feel of the firearm, don't start with the 45, please. I would even suggest starting with a 9. I would start with a 22 or a 380, and let them work their way up. It just makes a lot of sense. And something else I suggest, don't have them start with a revolver. Semi-automatic is much better, I think, for them. I think they'll enjoy it more. But let's talk about what you need to be doing. You want to watch the whole person, not just one segment of that person. And in the beginning, you don't want to don't be behind the phone, taking pictures and movies and stuff like that. Help them. Be in that booth with them. Talk to them. Tell them what's going on. Tell them what they should be doing. Show them, okay? But what you want to watch for is, obviously, the first thing, and I see this all the time, watch their hold. Watch their thumb when they're shooting. I've given out many, many Band-Aids, and people said, oh yeah, I should have been watching that. Yeah, you should have been watching that. Remember, you're the instructor. There's no other way around it. You are the instructor, and they're counting on you for their safety, your safety, and everybody else's safety in the range. I know that sounds really intense and really heavy, but it's the truth. This is not a game. It's fun, but it's not a game. This is serious stuff when you're teaching somebody, and you need to be there, not goofing around with somebody else. That's why we only allow 2 people per lane in the range at a time, because you get more than that, then you have a problem. We also have a problem when you have multiple lanes, groups, 2 or 3 lanes, then you got a bunch of people, and that's an issue, and I've got to really watch them. Body position, another thing. thumb, them body position. How are they standing? Are they on their heels or tippy toes? Are they leaning back? Are they leaning too far forward? Do they have the correct foot back? Are they right-handed? So their right foot's back. Are they left-handed? So their left foot's back. Are they leaned forward over their nose over their toes? I mean, you know, with a rifle, is their stance like a fighter's? Are they ready to take a punch, give a punch? Because that's what they're going to feel like. They're going to feel like they're taking a punch in the body when that rifle goes off, or even the pistol when the pistol goes off. Their feet. We talked about feet. Are they isosceles or weaver? How is their stances? There's only 2 stances. Everything else is garbage, especially when they're training. Now, I'm not talking about, if you're out at the range and you're advancing, that's totally different. It's totally different tactics. Everything's totally different. But you're not teaching that. You're teaching them in the range. So 2 stances, isosceles, weaver. That is it. Watch their feet. Sighting. Please teach them to sight. I'm tired of seeing the ceiling get shot. I'm tired of seeing the lanes get shot down, because where I work now, you shoot it, there's no grace period. You're gone. And most ranges are like that. They're going to watch for that stuff. When you teach them how to aim, and I know a lot of you guys and gals, you'll say, oh, don't look at the sights. Don't worry about the sights. Well, for the new shooters, they need to worry about their sights. They need to think about the front sight going on the X, back sight having that front sight right in the middle of that. And when they pull the trigger, very slow, methodical pull. All right? And we all know that it's in the first joint. You want the trigger in the first joint with your knuckle out, so you're pulling straight back. All right? Teach them that. Teach them breathing. Teach them to relax. All right? Dry fire with them. Absolutely dry fire with them so they know the pull. So you can see if they're jerking down or they're pushing. Dry fire with them. Let them relax. Let them see, what's going to happen. We talked about breathing. They should be shooting on the bottom of their exhale before they inhale. It's when your body is totally relaxed. Okay? And tell them that they don't have to shoot every bullet in the magazine, which brings up another point. If you have somebody new that is shooting, do not put more than 3 bullets in the magazine at a time. Maybe 1. Let's start with 1 or 2 and 3. Do not. And I'll tell you why. Because some shooters will just go. What happens at a range when you rapid fire? And what happens when you don't control your firearm and you rapid fire? Where's it hit? Your lane, their lane, ceiling, floor. All right? Explain to them. Tired, set it down. Don't. If they hold too long, this is why you're watching. If they hold too long, say stop, set it down, relax, take it easy. And there's going to be shooters that never shoot. Don't belittle them. Just go, okay, we'll come back next time. And then the downtime, show them the firearm at home. Show them how to hold it. Show them dry fire. Show them where the magazine goes. Show them the magazine release at home. Do that. We have talked about starting with a lower caliber. Absolutely. We talked about, here's one thing. All right. I see this all the time. Do not come around your shooter and hold their firearm, because you naturally aim for them. You're aiming from your eyesight. You're not aiming from their eyesight. They don't learn a damn thing. Get alongside of them, be right next to them, and talk them through it. Just talk like you have the firearm in your hand and everything that's going through your mind that you've done 10,000 times. Talk them through it. Very quietly. Well, in a range, as quiet as you can. Very slow. Encourage. Don't laugh. Don't belittle. Give them the confidence that you had. Remember, we all started with our first gunshot, right? We all started there. And you want to stay with that person until you or they or both of you are confident that they can pull that trigger and not turn around with the firearm, set it down, and they're happy and they're smiling and they're having a good time and they want to come back, because then you're the hero. You've taught them something new. You've helped out the 2A and the firearm community by getting another convert into the shooting sports industry. Although a lot of those people is why you can't find ammo, but that's besides the point. You know, just want to relay a story. There was a mom had 4 of her boys in there, and they ranged from probably 8 to 17, 18. Each one was totally different. Each one had different levels of firearm training. She was pretty good. She didn't have a lot of training, but you know what she did? She had one boy come in the lane at a time. She stayed with them. She talked them through. She only put 1 to 3 bullets in the magazine at a time. And she got each of those boys to walk away with a smile, confident, hitting the target. Pretty much, hitting the target every time, but they were getting near the X and the 10 and the 9 consistently by the end of that hour. So I said to that lady, I said, thank you. And she goes, thank you. I says, yeah, you stuck with them. You showed them what they were doing. I asked her, I says, did you teach them anything at home? And she says, oh yeah, we went over the basics and the firearm parts and all that at home before we even came here, and we dry fired. And I went, wow. I said, I don't hear that from very many people, that they do that, but I commend you. Being a mom, I get dads to come in with their daughters and their sons and grandsons and granddaughters and stuff like that, but I commend you highly, because you've done everything that a professional instructor would do. We would do, you know, if you get an instructor, you're in the classroom for an hour, you're going through all that stuff. And then you go to the range and shoot. And that's exactly what she did. And I was really impressed with her. And she's come back several times. Yes, she has. And really great. The boys are great. We have a good time at the range. And that's what it's all about. So please, if you're going to instruct. It's not your time to have a good time shooting. It's your time to make sure that they learn, have a good time, and everybody goes home nice and safe, no band-aids on their thumbs, and not hating the range, not ever wanting to come back to the range again. Although I will warn you, if you are teaching your kids or your significant other, your shooting costs just went up. And try sneaking out of the house saying, hey, Dad, where are you going? I'm going to the range. You know what they're saying now? Can I come with? It is kind of cool, and that's what my son did. So it's really important. It's a big job. It's to be an instructor and teach them stuff like that. But I commend each one of you for doing that. So that's it. That's your range tip of the week. Being a competent and helpful and side-by-side instructor with your student. It's extremely important. So as we always end our videos, be aware of your surroundings. Please have 3 to 4 months of shelter-in-place food and at least 72 hours of bug-out food. And please, prep like your life depends on it, because it really does. And yes, these are all baseball cards, and there's more up above. I can't get my finger to go the right way, but that's it. So, all right, take care.